Now, it's 24 minutes after the hour, and politics is our family business on this program. You heard us say earlier that a brand new poll shows that Verge Bernero, the Democratic nominee for governor, is trailing Rick Snyder by a pretty big margin. Rick Snyder has 53% of the likely voters. Verge Bernero has 26% of the likely voters. And on the other end of our line this morning, Rick Haglund, a referee for the Michigan Truth Squad and a former reporter as well, is with us. Good morning.
Good morning, Michael.
Does that lead surprise you?
No, I guess it doesn't. Snyder has been out there with a lot of ads. He got his name out there early with the One Tough Nerd ad campaign, which seemed to strike a chord with people. I think he's a lot better known at this point than Verge Bernero. So it doesn't surprise me. Plus, adding in all the problems that Democrats in general are facing in this election cycle because of the economy and some of the other problems that we face. So, no, it's not a big surprise.
I do understand that the air war is supposed to start today with the Snyder campaign, and Friday, Bernero campaign will get their commercials going in an attempt to not only identify themselves, but identify the opponent. And your organization, the Michigan Truth Squad, has called a flagrant foul on the Michigan Republican Party. Why?
Well, this is a pretty ugly ad that it's kind of interesting, and regardless of what you think of Verge Bernero, a lot of people seem to be offended as to what this ad does in trying to portray the city of Lansing as being just sort of this really grim place where nobody has jobs and people have to stay home all day with their kids because they don't have any place to go. And those that can get out are leaving for other states, and it's got this just really ominous musical tone in the background.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of the reasons. The other reason was that it misstates some of the statistics that it offers about the city of Lansing in terms of the number of homes on the market, unemployment rate, and that sort of thing. So we didn't think too much of this ad.
It's interesting because the news that I've seen out of the state capital has been pretty good. Unemployment here is lower than the statewide average, the unemployment rate. And also, Kiplinger's picked Lansing as one of the top 10 places in America for young people to work and thrive. And from what I understand from Kim LaFerrette at Coldwell Banker, there's a little bit of a real estate bubble here, and that we're outpacing the state in the real estate market, too. So if those things are all true, then obviously that is a flagrant foul.
Yeah, in fact, I think if Lansing certainly has problems like every other older industrial city in the state, but in a lot of statistical areas, it's actually performing better than the state average and some of its other cities that are similar demographics.
Let me ask you to put your ear on this piece of tape from an interview that Gary Austin and I did with Rick Snyder last week. The Democrats, Mark Brewer particularly, has been talking about the fact that Rick Snyder sent jobs to China. And, in fact, they had the Gateway Cows were out at the Labor Day festivities this weekend, and they were talking about moving jobs to China, which is pretty crafty. They're pretty good at that. But we asked him directly about it, Rick Snyder. And here's what he said, and I just want to get your reaction to the tone of what he says and what he doesn't say. Here it is.
Well, hi, Rick. The Democrats and Verge, they're going to make a big deal about this China business now. They're going to press you on it. Tell us more detail if you could. I mean, you might as well lay it on the line now because Verge is going to press you on it here when these debates and everything else start and other Democrats start questioning you on this. What about this China thing? What's it all about?
Well, they're making up more allegations. And again, we went through the primary in this. We laid it on the line back then. The facts have been out there for months. The challenge is sometimes people don't spend enough time looking at the facts. So if they go look at it, they'll resolve those issues. And again, that's looking backwards. This is not about running a negative campaign. This is about running a campaign for Michigan's future. People in this state are suffering. Our kids are suffering. And we need to be talking about the issues that really matter. And those are the issues that matter about how we create jobs. We need to get rid of the Michigan business tax. We need to redo our regulatory system. There are so many pressing issues that we need to focus on for the future.
Okay, so these allegations of creating jobs in China, hook to you, they're not true.
That's an accurate statement. Absolutely.
They're not true.
They're not true at all.
What do you make of that?
Well, I think he is he's trying to sidestep this issue in some respects. He's trying to change the conversation about the outsourcing thing and trying to make it go away, which probably isn't going to happen. He has said in other interviews and information that he's given out to the media, he's given a little bit more of an explanation of this. In fact, we took a look at some of it in an ad the Democratic Party ran, kind of blasting Snyder's pick of Brian Calley as his running mate. Essentially, Gateway did do a lot of outsourcing. It happened in the early part of the previous decade when Snyder was on the board of directors and was not actively involved in the management of the company. This is a company that actually, in addition to outsourcing, basically went out of business. It had all sorts of problems. Was not able to compete with the likes of Apple and Dell. And in fact, one analyst in the computer industry basically said that the problem that this company had is it didn't outsource fast enough to meet what its competitors were doing and moving production to low-cost countries. And so, there's more there than what Snyder said in that past clip.
Where can we find your website? What is the address?
It is www.michigantruthsquad.com.
Thank you very much for being with us, Rick Haglund. We sure appreciate it.
Thank you.
All the best to you.